Hey guys, welcome back to my channel. If you're new around here, my name is Ashton and I make faith videos here on YouTube. And in today's video, I wanted to give you a little bit of encouragement for the month of May. So if you're interested in seeing that, then just keep on watching.
I can't even explain it, nah. Maybe it's the way you look in my eyes. How I feel is beyond words can describe.
So for those of you who do not know, at the beginning of April, I went to Boston, and I do have vlogs for that, so I'll put it in the cards. I don't know what side it's on, but I will put it in the cards, and I'll also link the vlogs to those below. But as I was getting ready to leave for Boston, I drove to the airport. And this was an airport that I've flown out of multiple times, and I'm telling you this story because it pertains to the encouragement that I want to give you today. But I'm driving to the airport and I'm not looking at any of the signage because I'm like, I've flown out of this airport before. I know how to get there. I'm not looking at my boarding pass. I know where I'm going. I've done this before. But what was different about this trip is that I was flying with an airline that I've never flown out of this specific airport with. So I park my car, I go in, I have my bag, so I don't need to check my bags. And so I walk straight to security. I go through security and then I sit down and I'm like, whew. I even text my mom like, man, that was like the easiest check-in ever. And then, so I'm just sitting there chilling and I'm like, maybe I should see where my terminal is, because I just sat at the first terminal that I saw because I'm like, I really have time, and there was no flight boarding there, so there wasn't nobody sitting there. So I'm just chilling. I'm like, man, maybe I should see where my terminal is. And so I start to walk and I'm like, all right, I don't see any Delta terminals over here. You know, I see Spirit and I saw United, and I'm like, all right, where's Delta? And so I stopped to look at one of the maps and I'm like, I am in the wrong terminal. I'm in the wrong terminal. And so I'm like, crap. At this point, because I was just relaxing, right? I thought I had all the time in the world. I got to the airport early. I'm one of those be there 2 hours before type of people. So I was chilling. But by the time that I realized I was at the wrong terminal, I only had like 25 minutes to get to the right one. And so I have to go downstairs, I have to go outside, wait for a shuttle. The shuttle has to take me all the way to a different side of the airport, which was like 10 minutes away. I have to go through security again, and then the place where like I was boarding at was literally the last one on this side of the airport. And so let's just say like in the middle where I came in, it was like 35. Like let's just say it was like A35, and the one that I needed to get to was like A76. I'm like, bruh, God, you couldn't have made it just like right here. So I am rushing. And in the vlog I talk about how I was running. I was not running, I was speed walking, because one thing about me, I'm not gonna be that one in the airport running. It's just not in me. So I'm checking my watch, I'm looking at my phone, I'm texting my mom the whole time. I'm like, I'm about to miss this plane. I am about to miss this plane. So I get to the gate. That's the word. This whole time I could not think of the word. I get to the gate and there are two girls there who are struggling, or the attendant is trying to figure out what's going on with their boarding pass. And she's like, oh, you can go ahead and just scan yours. I get on the plane, we take off, and everything was fine, right? But then while I was on the plane, God said, speed will be your portion as long as you are not the one causing the delay. Speed is your portion. but sometimes you're the one causing the delay. And so I'm sharing this because I don't know about you guys, but I know that there is someone out there. I know for me, God will give you an instruction, and for some reason there will be a delay. And for some of us, it's our pride, it's our thinking, oh, I've been in this situation before, or I've been through things similar, so I know how to handle it, right? I thought because I had flown out of this airport before that I knew everything there was for me to know about how to get to the destination that I was going to. And a lot of us in the same way have so much pride that we think that we know how to get where God is telling us to go, because maybe we've done it in the past, or because maybe we have the degree, or because maybe we have this intellect that we think is supposed to carry us. And God is saying that you're the reason for your delay. You haven't sought the instructions that He's given you. You haven't used the word as your guide, as the directions, as the signage that was in the airport. You're so blind to the guidance that God is trying to give you, that the Holy Spirit is trying to give you, because you think that you got it. You think you know how to get to this place that He is calling you to go to, and you're the reason for the delay. A delay is a period of time by which something is late or postponed, or it's to make someone or something late or slow. So for some reason you're experiencing a delay. God has given you a promise, God has given you an instruction, He has given you a destination, and you're experiencing delay. You were supposed to be here 2 years ago. You were supposed to have that job. You were supposed to be married. God gave you something that you're holding on to, but you're wondering why there's a delay. You're wondering why there's a period of time at which something is late. Things aren't happening in the time frame that you think they are supposed to. Or God has given you a specific instruction with a specific timetable, and you're wondering why there's a delay. Well, the encouragement to you is that this month of May speed be your portion. Speed is the rate at which someone or something is able to move or operate. It's to move quickly, or to make prosperous or successful. So this past Sunday, my pastor preached from Acts chapter 8. And in this chapter, we have Philip here who is sharing the gospel, and people are coming to be saved. They're coming to know God. There's a revival happening, and then God tells him to travel down this desert road, right? And so He gives him an instruction. He gives him a destination. And so Philip starts to travel down this road, and on this road, there's a eunuch that needs to hear a word from God. There's a purpose for the instruction that God gave Philip. So as Philip is traveling down this road, the Holy Spirit tells him to go and overtake the chariot that the eunuch was riding on. Some of us, if we were in that position, we would see this delay or this distance between where we are and what God is telling us to do, and we would give up, right? God, I'm not about to go run that man down. God, I'm not about to exert extra energy to do this thing that you have called me to do. Why couldn't you just make them be right there when I got on the road, right? A lot of us want the path that God has us on to be easy. We want everything to just be given to us. But God tells Philip, hey, I need you here. And so there's this distance, there's this delay, and I need you to overtake the chariot. Philip immediately obeyed, and he ran to overtake the chariot. He ran to catch up with this person that God has called him to talk to. Imagine running to catch up with a chariot that's being led by horses. Like, I'm tired just thinking about it. But God, the Holy Spirit, gave Philip an instruction, and he did it. And so God's instructions to you for this month is get moving. What is that thing that He's called you to do that you've been delaying? What is that thing that He has called you to do, but you see too much distance between you and that, and so you've given up on it? Get moving. My pastor said your ministry is outrunning you. That marriage that you desire is outrunning you because you're not doing the work. You're not running to overtake that thing. That job that you desire is outrunning you But this month, speed can be your portion if you obey the voice of God. If you obey the Holy Spirit when it tells you to run and overtake that thing. When you obey the Holy Spirit when it tells you to go travel this desert road, even though it seems like you're having success over here. When God tells you to move, move, and speed will be your portion. There are people attached to the instructions that God is giving you. There are people attached to that ministry or that business he told you to start. There are people attached to that marriage that you're supposed to be in. There are people attached to that leadership position that you are supposed to have. There are people attached to the instruction that God is giving you, and your delay and your disobedience is holding them up. This month, if you obey, things will happen suddenly. They will happen swiftly, and they will happen speedily, but only if you follow the voice of the Lord. So that is my quick encouragement to you. Just watch what can happen in your life. That thing that you have been praying for. Watch what happens when you start to obey, when you start to move, and when it's not just lip service, when it's not just, man, I really want this thing, or yeah, I heard God say this, but when you actually move and start to do what he has called you to do, watch what he can make happen in your life. I hope this video was an encouragement to you. If it is, please share this with a friend, a sister, a cousin, a aunt, anyone who you think this video would benefit. And I will see you guys in our next video. Bye.